Hi, welcome back to this episode of Mentors. Today we are here with Amir Reza, the Dean of Babson College and Babson Academy. It's an honor to have you here, Amir.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's an honor to be here with you.
Starting from that, taking from your experience, how do you expect students to be more entrepreneurial in a world that's developing so fast in technology and evolving in education?
It's actually the perfect environment to help students be entrepreneurial, because our objective is not just to help students have startup businesses, right? Mm-hmm. It's about a mindset, which is relevant to almost any discipline, not just the business school, students from any, because as you just described, between whether it's AI or volatility in our world, geopolitics, a lot of uncertainty, right? And so with an entrepreneurial mindset, what we hope that we are fostering is kind of leaders that can say where there are problems, there are opportunities.
Okay.
Uncertainty and volatility brings a lot of problems. But within those problems, there are always opportunities if you have the right mindset.
Okay.
And so that's what we're trying to develop in our students' methodologies of learning, pedagogy, and to give them the confidence that they can be resilient and they can be lifelong learners. So if AI changes the industry that you go into or your family business is in, you will be the innovators of the future to use AI to then create the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one do you think has been the most significant achievement that you have accomplished together, Babson College and the UEES?
Well, I think for us, Babson College is a small institution. If you think about it, we have about 3,000 bachelor's degree students and only about 1,000 graduate students, meaning MBAs, MS, right? Mm-hmm. So very relatively small. Yet we have been ranked the #1 school in entrepreneurship for 32 years, right?
Wow.
Very significant. We don't want to have 50,000 students. But what we do want to do is put the power of entrepreneurship education, this methodology we pioneered called entrepreneurial thought and action, in as many hands as possible. And how we can do that best is putting it in the hands of universities that we trust, that we engage with, that have great programs like UEES, to have them work locally and contextualize for the Ecuadorian economy, Ecuadorian environment, because we would not be able to, because we're not experts in Ecuador.
Yeah.
Your professors are, your director is, right? And so that partnership has helped us, I hope, achieve our mission to engage with learners here in Ecuador without having to be present here, right? So that's one. Other things we have done, of course, that are more kind of tactical are research together, publications. Your professors have come to Babson to get some training. Of course, we are here this week with Jamie and I to try to learn more about your university and your environment. I've had multiple conversations with deans from different areas who also want to engage with us to extend entrepreneurship education to their students. So that's all part of, I think, a bright future for us.
Definitely. I think this is a very enriching experience for the students, and I'd like you to go further on that and explain why should people be interested in being entrepreneurial and on the motto of Babson, which is ET&R.
So if we think about it at the core, many ways universities, perhaps your parents that went to a university or your grandparents, they went to a university for 3-4 years, and then they got a bachelor's degree, or maybe they got a master's, and that was to prepare them for a career for life, right? Yeah. Maybe 30, 40 years in one industry or the family business. The future is not going to look like that, right? And so we, as educators, as universities, we don't know what the jobs of the future will be. Even in 10 years, there will be jobs that will be new that we don't even know. So how can we say that you can come and we will train you very specific skills for the next 30 years, 40 years when we don't know what those are? Yeah. But what we do know is that this methodology called entrepreneurial thought and action is helping people prepare them for great uncertainty and creating social and economic value creation based on your identity, your interests, and your environment, right?
Yeah.
And so that really prepares you to be that lifelong learner, to be curious, and to have resilience as things shift, and you have to be adaptable. You have to be resilient. You have to constantly reinvent yourself and the environment and innovate. So the methodology is, I would say, AI and robot proof, right? That it will be utilizing the problems that you have to create opportunities. That's why I think it's really critical for the students that are listening, whether you're in a field of business or you want to go work in your family business, or you're working in healthcare, almost any field. This is a great foundation for you to be an innovator and change maker.
Your mindset that you have all this knowledge, but if you don't take action, nothing happens. You have to take action.
Right. And specifically, taking action. Let me actually ask you a question, if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
Why do most people, why don't they take action on their ideas? Scared.
Yeah.
Fear, right? Yeah. So this is a really good piece. One of the pieces of our methodology is helping people to say, calculate your affordable loss.
Okay.
So, because if you can calculate and say, I can afford this loss, the fear goes away.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
So I can lose $100. I can lose 80 hours of my time. Instead of spending time on social media, on TikTok, I'm going to spend it on my business or on this new idea or changing my community. Now you can say, worst case scenario, after 80 hours and $100, I fail. It's no big deal.
It was worth the try.
It was worth the try, but also you already decided you can afford to lose that.
Yeah.
And so the fear subsides.
And it doesn't stop you.
Right. And so you take action.
Yeah.
Right.
And our last question, I really want to know, do you think there's an age gap in becoming interested in entrepreneurship, or is it a lifelong opportunity?
It's certainly a lifelong opportunity.
Okay.
One of the, it's a funny thing to say is I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up.
Okay.
I'm still learning.
Okay.
Right? And in fact, a collaborative university in Colombia, they came up with this concept of senior entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And we gave them an award for that. It was in their community that had many retired people who had time, but they didn't know how to go about starting business. They had great ideas and wisdom.
That's
so
amazing.
They created a program for them. These people are 60, 65 years old and still learning. So your learning is just beginning.
Amir, thanks a lot for this beautiful interview. You gave us a lot of insight and inspiration.
My pleasure.
And to you all, hope you liked it, learned something new, and see you on the next chapter of Mentors.